Okay, so these are the feedbacks that we received from professor for the survey questionnaire. First one was number your questions. Okay, now this is the document. This is the whole questionnaire that we created. It is it's pretty explanatory. What he wanted us to do is number each separate question, like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on. The second feedback we received was separate questions from the answer table by putting at the top of it. Yeah, that was a little confusing. And to be honest, he was confusing while on the meeting as well. Haha. So what he means by it is, sorry, 1 second. And I really apologize for the shaky camera. Like for the first one, we have when choosing furniture. Like the question is, sorry, please mark your answer choosing the correct question with either an X or a tick. When choosing furniture, size is very important to me, color is important to me, brand is important. So what he wants us to do is to write a common question. What is important to you while shopping a furniture? Then, sorry, this is where he wants us to write this kind of question, and then these things over here are fine. So what he wants us to do is while choosing furniture, what is important to me? Then options would be like size, color, brand, material, and the options would be, like he said, very important, somewhat important, neutral, not important, not something like not important at all, or something like that. So his pointer was, yeah, it looks kind of neat. This is neat as well according to me, but yeah, that is what his take was for this question. And he did not want us to write strongly agree and disagree kind of thing. For this one, same thing. How often do you shop for your furniture? How often do you shop for items too? How often do you? So he wants something in common at the top of the question. And for this one, he was like, this looks kind of vague, rarely, sometimes, often. On this one, he wants the numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, or something like that. These things over here are still fine. Of course, they would be modified a little bit if you have a question on the top. For this one, which of the following items are you likely to purchase on Wayfair? He wants this question on the top right here. Nothing in this cell. Large, these options are fine. Small versus unsure, somewhat likely, very likely. Let me see. Let me think what he said about that. Which of the following items are you likely? I think he was okay with these options. Yeah. Very unlikely, not likely, unsure. I think he suggested to change the phrases, but he was kind of okay with that as well. He did not recommend me to change the numbers. He did say, take this somewhere over here. These things over here are fine. And he was like, these are pretty standard. You could kind of change the thing, like, cause it should just not look like every individual might have a different understanding of these kind of options. Like you and I have the same understanding of unsure, right? But for like in this question, he was like, often might be different for me, and for you it might be 5 days. It might be like 10 times for me, this kind of thing. But he was pretty happy on this one. Let's take on this one. How important are the following topics in regards of how it would affect you shopping on Wayfair? Wayfair, very important. Yeah, this is fine. Actually, this is, again, he wants this thing over here. And he did not go over each and every question with me. He was like, you would be able to modify these based on your understanding about what the question is saying. Which means he is talking about grammar. Is this gonna be about important, unimportant, moderate, and all that shit? Or likely and all that? I think this is fine. But I believe personally you are a better judge on this. I did not come up with as good ideas. I would still be debating what is better to write on these areas. Is it the same way? Would you understand the same way, the way I do reading these? I personally think it's fine. What is your preferred method when shopping? Now, for this one, the whole question comes here, and we have only 3 options underneath online. Like we have these 6 cells. Sorry, I'm just using my one hand. Shit. We have just these 6 cells underneath a question, which is right here. That's the question. And same thing with all of those. No limit for the questions. Questions would be at the top. Options, those options that are equally measurable for each one of us, unlike the only one that professor kind of pointed out, like this one. Never, rarely, sometimes. For this one you can number these ones. The other ones he suggested to change the names, like this one, like for this. So this one, strongly agree, disagree, would not work on this one. It would be like somewhat important, not important, or something like this. Similarly, be the best judge for the remaining of the questions. That is the pointer that he gave under the second one in the email. The first one was number each question. We get that. Second one, we just went over it. Third one, never, rarely, sometimes, often, very often. Yeah, we kind of went over that as well. That's like part of the second one. And yeah, there is no limit for the questions. That was it. That is what he said during the